Hello, everyone. Hi. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Teacher's Corner. If you're new here, my name is Morgan, and I'm a sixth grade math and science teacher who also loves all things Disney. And this is our monthly live stream for the Teacher's Corner. And today I have an amazing guest that is coming, and you guys are going to meet him in just a little bit. He's been on the show before. But before we get into that, I just wanted to let you guys know that I did just post a video today that has an awesome giveaway in it. So make sure you go ahead on over to that video. I'll try to leave it linked down in the description of this video afterwards so you guys have it. But make sure you go over to that video when this live stream's over and enter into the giveaway for some awesome prizes. They are really awesome, and they're really great, and I'm so excited to give them away to you guys. So on today's Teacher's Corner, though, we are going to be talking about the end of the year and the last day of school. So I'm so excited to do that. That's like a huge topic of how do teachers handle the last day of school? What is the last day of school like? It's different for everyone, no matter where you are in the world. Some schools do it. Some schools have half days. Some schools have full days. Some schools let the kids go before the teachers go. So it's different everywhere. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it and talk about some things that you can do on the last day of school if you're a struggling teacher or a new teacher. And if your last day of school is coming up, congratulations. You are almost to the end of the year. And if your school year has ended, congratulations, because you've made it to the end of the year. But we are going to go ahead and talk about that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So my friend Jake from Jake's Disney Afternoon is coming. He's just running a bit late, so he'll be joining us in a few minutes. But if you are watching and in the comments, definitely go ahead and let me know that you're here. I'd love to hear that you guys are here. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. While I'm waiting for Jake, I will kind of just let you guys in on some of the things that are upcoming on my channel. So I do have the Guardians of the Galaxy preview coming for opening weekend. That will be coming out this weekend, if not Monday. I'm aiming for Sunday for it to come out, but if it doesn't come out by then, it will be definitely coming out on Monday. And I have some food vlogs that are going to be coming up and some really awesome things. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you enter in that giveaway. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. So the last day of school for everyone looks different. And for my school, I'm just going to start with my school. So I've been at two different schools where the last day of school has been different in both of them. And one was a half day school, meaning that they would leave early. The kids would leave early and the teachers had to stay the full day. And we were allowed to leave as soon as we were done with everything. So, that was my old school back in Maryland, and we had to have a whole checklist, and we had to have everything cleared off our shelves, put away. You had to take everything off your bulletin boards. You weren't allowed to leave anything on the walls or anything up. You had to take everything down every single year, which was the biggest pain in the butt. And then this year at this school for me, what it was like, this year was a little different because I was allowed to leave all my stuff on the walls, which was kind of weird. And I was also allowed to leave my bulletin boards up. Anything that was like still hanging, I was pretty much allowed to leave. I just had to take everything off of my door, which I did that anyway. And I had most of my stuff down anyway because of testing. And this year, since we ended in May, we were testing probably up to like the last 2 days of school. So my room was being used almost up to the last day of school for testing. So I wasn't really in there much. So I was happy that most of the stuff was put away. I just had to gather a few things off my shelves and put those away. But we had a full day of school for every single day leading up to the last day of school, and it was just it was rough. It was a little rough, but yeah. So that's what my last day of school looked like. Let me know what your last day of school looked like for you guys in the comments. But our last week of school, unlike some schools, I know some schools will do fun movie days and things. My school didn't do that this year, so I was kind of bummed about. But we did do a field day that I put together, and that was a lot of fun. I really liked the field day that we put together, and I think the kids really liked it too. I think it's really important that if you are doing fun things on the last week of school, that you are being cognizant of like kids that are coming and keeping them busy with activities, because it's very easy for kids to get off track and distracted on the last week of school and cause some issues sometimes, which will lead into some stories that we'll get into later. Hi April, nice to see you. Happy hump day. Yes, oh my gosh, today is a struggle. I'm waiting for Jake to hop on. I don't know if you were here in the beginning when I said that, but I'm waiting for Jake to hop on and come join me. So he's trying to come from his run to his apartment from where he parked. So he's coming soon, and I'm just kind of trying to stall. But let me know how your day was. Love to hear how your day was, April. And I know you're a pre-K teacher, so how is pre-K different during the summertime? Do you have more kids? Do you have less kids? How does that work for pre-K? Because I know you guys are year-round, so let me know. But I know I'm on a delay, so I'm trying to wait for her to comment. But yeah, like I said, we had a field day, and it was a lot of fun. So it was for everyone in the school. It wasn't just for a specific grade level, which I'd love to do that next year. And our field day, the 8th graders had their own separate field day towards the end of the school. So we had it we had the whole the whole school one a few days before. And it was really fun. We had water balloons and lots of water activities because it's so hot here in Florida. She said same kids, but they don't want to be there. So they are crazy. Oh my goodness. I can only imagine. But for them, I feel like it's not do they realize it's summer break? Do they realize they're not normally going to be in school when they go to school? Because that's kind of all they know. But I know that when I was when I was little, that we went back to our pre-K after we went to kindergarten for the summer. So, speak of the devil, here he is. Hey.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was trying to stall as long as possible.
I know. I was in Connecticut today, so I flew all the way home, and then had to park and run anyway.
Oh my goodness.
And pour myself a drink.
Yes, of course. You always have to have that.
Absolutely.
She said some of them have older siblings. So April is here in the comments.
Yeah.
And I was asking her about how her kids, because she teaches pre-K, how
Right.
that works for the summer. And she said she has the same kids all year long. So they just
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
She says hi, Jake.
April,
I was gonna wear your ears. I have them literally sitting next to me, but these kind of matched my outfit more. So
I don't have the only ears I have available are the Yote ears that haven't been shown yet. So I'll have earless.
Oh darn. Okay, well, Jake, I already answered this question, but I'll ask you.
Okay.
What does your last week of school look like?
What a nightmare. Hi. So the last week, Typically our last week, we have a 4-day last week, Monday through
Mm-hmm.
Thursday. And usually the first 2 days are kind of normal schedule. And then they have like a special, it's changed every year what the special is on Wednesday, but it's an all-day event usually. And then
Mm-hmm.
Thursday is a half day, and they get yearbooks like at the end of that situation, and then we're done. So, everyone thinks it's a pointless week, and it is a pointless week, except that if you didn't have that week, the pointless week would be the week before, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. It always is like, it's always right there.
Yeah.
So when did you get out of school?
We were done on the 9th, so last Thursday.
Oh, okay. So I have been done since the 24th, I think, of May. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm already 2 weeks into summer school, man. Like, it's like hard.
And the 9th is early. Most of the public schools in this area go till like the 25th or something.
Whoa.
22nd, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's public schools are long.
Pointless week. She agrees. Yeah. I think it's different. So for my school, because we got out so early and it was so close to testing that we were still, and I said this a little earlier, we were still testing the last week of school. Like, some kids were still being tested the last week of school because of they were absent or whatever.
Right.
So I was literally out of my classroom up until the last 2 days of school because they used my room for testing.
We don't do testing at all. So we don't have that issue.
Oh.
So yeah.
So you don't have like state tests at your school?
Nope. Oh. I think in like 7th grade, somewhere in the middle of the year, like March or something, there's some one state required test, but we don't, because we're a private school, we don't have to have like standardized testing at the end of the year or something like that.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah, it's not even the high school that does like AP finals and things like that are done in like early May. So we kind of have it's not a normal schedule, but it's less impacted by those kinds of things.
Yeah. Oh, you're so lucky. I know you said that you had half days. I'm like emptying you right now. We had full days with our kids.
I mean, we only have the one half day, but there is like the day before is like a special schedule. So it's like no classes. It's usually like, they've done different things. It's been like a group project. They've done kind of carnival things. They've done a field trip. So it's basically, 2 days of kind of like wrapping it up with your classes and the way our patterns fall. Like Monday, Tuesday basically covers a sort of a pattern or whatever. So you get to see everybody. And then it's just downhill and nobody cares after that.
At our school, we don't do anything. We do like normal schedule every single day right up until the very last day of school. And then occasionally, like I was saying, I threw a field day for the school as part of our PBIS stuff. I'm on that committee. So I helped run that headache, which was indeed a headache that day. Yeah. And that was for the entire school of like anyone that did well the last 2 months. Right. So like you couldn't be failing and you couldn't have gotten in trouble like with anything.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's PBIS is like the positive behavior intervention system. So it's all about like being a positive student, I guess. So like if you have referrals, you don't get rewarded.
Yeah, I like that actually. That's great.
Yeah. And then the 8th grade had their field day. 8th grade is like a whole different beast at my school. Right. They just do their own thing the last week of school, and then everyone else is like trying to function on what they can
around them. Yeah. Yeah, we have some definite different. Yay! We have some definitely different grade level things that take place. Like, so sometimes that can be even the week before. We had a couple of crazy scheduled days. Like the 6th grade was like on a field trip one day or 2
Yeah.
days in halves or something. So it was, but for me, it's like, once our concerts are over, like that 3rd week of May, like leading into Memorial Day or whatever, once I
Yeah.
get to that point, it's like, what's the point? We're done. We it's like you took your final and then they're like, go to class for 2 more weeks. And you're like, well, why?
Yeah.
We did everything.
Yeah.
So,
Aubrey says, I'm at a public school, so students have testing, but not primary grades. Yeah.
right.
Primary grades, in Florida, they start testing at 3rd grade. And then every year in public school, they have to take like state testing. And middle school's the worst because we have like 6th grade that has to take written tests, and then everyone else is on computers. And then, like, depending on what math you're in, you could be taking a separate test on a separate day. Right. And then 8th grade, on top of that, has to take a civics test. And I've never seen anything like it. We had like, I think we did 20 different types of tests this year, and I've never seen anything like it in my life.
What do they do with the kids? Like, if you've got a certain population, like a specialized math or whatever their like small segment, like what do the rest of the kids do? Because you're clearly not working with.
So there's like so the 6th grade tested the very first week of testing, which kept me busy because I was just in testing mode that whole week. The whole week. But then after that, we still had certain 6th graders that needed to test, but then you also had the 7th and 8th grade that needed to start their testing, and they took 2 weeks to do their testing. So in the morning, we have what are called testing blocks, and it was sometimes for 4 hours straight. You just had your first period for 4 hours. Yeah. And so if you're not testing, you're supposed to be in your normal room, or you get sent to a different room if your teacher's testing at that time. And then you just stay in there for the 4 hours. And then once the 4 hours is up, if anyone has like extended time, they all go to the library and they finish testing there. And then everyone resumes a modified schedule.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh. So, and then further down, as it was just like makeups and stuff, they just pulled them out of class. So.
Right at that point, right?
Yeah, but it was crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and half my class that I teach normally has extended time, so I only had half a class when we would return, and I would just be chilling and I'd be like, I don't know what to do because there's no point in doing anything because I'm gonna have to redo it.
That's definitely the problem where you're like, now what? Hi,
Elizabeth.
Yay!
Oh, we have so many friends.
I know, it's nice. Just having that, like, I feel like there should be, I don't know, it's just a bad system. Even in our school where we do some testing or they do like half grade field trips, and it's like, well, now what do I do with a half a class? I mean, they're less fussy about like I can show movies and things like that quite a bit. So, we do a lot of that, but it's babysitting basically at that point.
Yeah. The last week of school, I literally during those 4 hour blocks, we would watch almost two whole movies. But they have Disney Plus and Netflix blocked on for teachers. So I would have to get like real creative as to where I would find movies,
right.
Or what I was showing. But we did I tried to do some interesting things. Like we played a water game at one point we played catch the water balloon, and whoever it broke on had to clean it up. So
that's a fun idea. I like that.
Yeah, it helped my floors get mopped a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Which they definitely needed.
Right.
But so staying on the last week of school, do you have any in-service days after your last day of school with kids?
Oh, we're in them right now, and it's painful as all get out.
Oh my gosh!
I hope all of them are watching. It's terrible. We have 3 days. We had Tuesday, today, and tomorrow. They give us Monday off, which I'm like, y'all, that's not a gift. Just get it over with. Like, because some of us don't really have, some of the elementary teachers and a few other key classrooms that are used for summer programs have to like do more packing up and cleaning. We actually don't. Other than like, just refiling this year's curriculum or throwing out whatever's.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And it's always different what we do. So like today was department meetings, but they gave us a whole day and our department's like, okay. So we did like a half day and called it a day. Tomorrow it's like they have a 3-hour block and like a lecture in the morning. And then we have like a huge lunch that they cater, which is lovely. Like there's alcohol in the whole 9 yards, but
okay.
But also I'm like, I'm done. Can we just be done? Can we just
that
stop
sounds
it?
torturous.
Especially like this year, like we're fried. Like at the end of a normal year, like I don't have the brain capacity to be like, yeah, that's how I should improve. Like I'm just not in that mindset of like, even when they bring in like speakers who are interesting or talking about like social issues or things like that, I'm just not in like that receiving place because I'm so burned.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've reduced it. It used to be 5 days.
Holy.
Yeah, for a while, and we were like, you have to stop. We are just at capacity.
So at my old school, because my old school's last days were different than my new school's. My old school's, the entire last like 4 days were half days. And then, but teachers were required to stay the whole day to like finish packing up and stuff. And then by that last day of school, you had to be like, everything had to be turned in and you had to leave. Like there was no in service. It was just for packing. Right. And then, this year at my new school, you didn't have, so we had four full days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay. And then you had an additional optional teacher work day that you could do for extra pay. Like you weren't going to get like, if you wanted to work it, it would be extra pay, not on your normal paycheck. So I obviously worked it because they like let you leave at 11.
Right.
And it's just to like finish packing your stuff up and getting all your stuff turned in. But yeah.
Do they, you don't have to answer this if you don't do they do like on payroll? Is it like just a 10-month contract or they do like a 12-month or do you get to choose or anything like that?
So it's always 10 months. It's 10 months. Like you get paid for 10 months, but you have the option to receive 20 checks or you can receive 24 checks.
Right. Okay.
So I chose the 24 checks thinking I would get 4 checks over the summer. No. That's not how that works.
Oh.
No, because the fiscal year changes in July.
Right.
So they give you all 4 checks the week after school ends. And you have to like budget those 4 checks.
Right. So you've already been paid for what you thought was going to be the rest of the summer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I was just like, oh, okay, great.
They pay us. They used to give us a choice, but we do July 1st, which is the fiscal year, till June 25th is the last payday of the year before. So they do it 12 months. They just started at the fiscal year moving forward, which is weird because you're technically paid then in July for work you haven't done in September.
You gotta hope that no one quits.
Yeah, I don't know what they would do in that situation. I don't know what they would do if you like got a new, like if you'd have to pay it back or because technically you were under contract.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I haven't asked that question yet.
So Kaylee said at the end of the year, her school used to have a big collective movie time with a big screen projector in the gym against the wall. Popcorn and candy. Anyone who was passing would be able to go. That's kind of like what my field day was, except it was you also had to have like what we call a positive referral. So it's like if you do something good, you get a notice that goes home to your parents that says this person has been outstanding for whatever.
So it's like partly behavioral.
Yes, it's behavioral. We're Title I school, so it's behavior is a big issue. That we try to keep under control.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And that was her elementary school.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
That's a very elementary thing. I have done it though in middle and high. Like my middle and my high school did it as well. But it was more selective then. Like I think you had to have all A's or all A's and B's.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember having sort of reward programs like that, but it was definitely a higher bar.
Yeah.
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 What percentage of kids get to go to your field day? Like, do you know? Is it like half or 3/4 or?
So this was the first year we've ever done it. So we capped it
Okay.
at 300 this year, which I think there's 900 kids in the school, like 900-ish.
Okay.
So it was about a third.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
And Kaylee reminding everyone, go subscribe to Jake's channel. Hit his
Aw,
links in the description.
thank you.
Katie says her birthday is in the beginning of June, so sometimes it's the last day of school. That would be the greatest birthday present.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
Ugh. But I don't know. I kind of liked going to school on my birthday. I mean, I think I've had school on my birthday like a handful of times. Like I could probably count on one hand how many times I had school on my birthday.
Right.
Because normally it's election. It can fall on election day, so sometimes you don't have school
You don't have
if schools
right.
are being used.
Right.
And then New Jersey has a huge teachers conference over the week of my birthday, and oftentimes it would fall on that week.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
like
it's kind of nice celebrating with everybody. Like it feels special. I don't know. It's nice.
Yeah, and you guys like everyone's like happy birthday, and it's
right.
it's more I don't know.
Or they announce it during assembly or whatever silly thing.
Yeah. In elementary school, they would announce every single kid's birthday on the announcements, and they would even do like if your birthday was over the weekend, they would announce it on Monday or something like that.
Yeah, I think they would do like on Monday they would do the week birthdays, like for the whole week ahead.
Oh.
In kind of one swoop, you know.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah,
makes sense.
it worked. It works.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Kaylee.
Oh yeah, the summer birthdays. We always feel bad for them as kids. We're like, oh,
so sad. All right, so let's go ahead and get on to the second question. What are some activities you do in your personal classroom for the last week of school?
I mean, definitely movies and food are like a thing that I've built up and do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you know, for a performance class, the thing is like the energy ramps up to leading up to that thing. So like it gets really intense in terms of like the amount I'm pushing them on, the sort of intensity of me.
Yeah.
So like I'm like my deal is like, look, we just get through this and then we chill and we party. I sometimes I'll take, you know, we've got a nice grounds and property. So sometimes kids will just want to go outside and like just, you know, play games or, you know, frisbee or whatever we're doing. Yeah, and then sometimes board games are fun, like you know, just letting them break up. I'm also a big fan of social time. Like, I feel like kids don't get enough social time just to do whatever they want to do. Meaning, like, they need that time to bond and to be with like their, you know, whatever it is they're doing or talking about or watching on their iPads. It's like I'm very pro like, you know, here's free time. You should enjoy it because life's too hard not to.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
agree. The last week of school, I try not to push too hard. The thing is, we have our principals are always like every principal I've had says that you have to instruct up to the last day, so you always have to have some structured activity that you're doing.
Okay.
So, like this year in my science class, I did TikTok experiments. So we did TikTok myth busting. So I had them one day just look up TikToks that they wanted to try to bust. Then the next day I got the stuff that we needed. So we did like Jolly Ranchers and heating them up and creating bubbles out of them. Yeah, that kind of worked. It kind of worked.
Okay, all right.
A lot of burnt sugar in places.
Right. Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, and then we did a lot of like girl versus boy ones where it's like those TikTok challenges that are
Yep.
like, oh, no boy can do this or
Right.
whatever, and that they loved that. So we did that for science, and then for math we did like math scavenger hunts, or we would go outside because we typically had math in the morning when it's cooler outside.
Yep.
So I would take them outside before it would Florida midday rain.
Right.
So before it
Fair enough.
rains, we would go outside and we were playing like manhunt and tag and
Yep.
all these things. We
Yeah,
played
yeah.
ninja a lot. They
Right.
love ninja. So
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
yeah. And we also had like a huge party at the end of the year. Not a party, but it was like I couldn't tell them to bring in food, so I was like, if you want to bring a snack for
Right.
the last day of school,
Right. Go
bring it in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, food works. I think we have some policy about what you're allowed to do, but I don't care. I always feel like in performance where it's like there's not only is there this required outside element, like you have to come at like 7:00 at night, and it's like a lot of pressure in front of 400 people, and et cetera, et cetera. It's like we've kind of done the same amount of work in a short amount of time, and now we're gonna sort of balance our lives out on the back end of this whole thing a little bit. And for me, it's like mostly they're concerned is like on the public scale of the concert, did we make the school proud? And if they did, they're like, man, do whatever. Kind of the trade-off,
Yeah. And I think it's also like really hard because once the kids take those like state tests, they're like, what's the point? Like, sorry, done. Like, it's done. I'm done. And it's like, but we still have a whole month left. Like, I don't know what to do.
You have almost that much after state testing, really?
Yeah, because 6th grade has to go first.
I see.
Once 6th grade goes, then 7th and 8th grade goes.
I got it.
And then like it's makeups, and then
Okay.
So they go pretty early. Like the writing test was done a month before the end of school, and then we waited like 2 weeks, and then we had the math and reading for 6th grade, and then it was like math and reading for 8th grade, then and 7th grade bio and other classes. I felt like we were testing forever. It was
Yeah, it's too long. They used to do, we didn't have state testing, but in the day, we would do like each class had their own final. So we had like a similar structure in terms of like, proctoring and long days of testing and half days and all of this stuff. But they've done kind of away with that in the last 5 or 6 years. So
I mean, they're restructuring the testing format, so I'm hoping for next year. So I'm hoping that we get some like better testing stuff going on. I don't know when it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
But hopefully. All right. Number 3. So the third question: what advice would you give to those packing up their classrooms, either to move or to stay for the next year?
I would say, I think I already said that I don't have to pack my room up in the same way that I think a lot of people do, or even other people at my own school do. But I think the biggest thing, regardless of what level of packing up you have to do, is you want to be ready to come in September or whenever you go back, August, ready to go. So like I think like packing up is a really great time to purge. So throwing out miscellaneous Xeroxes or reorganizing books or supplies or anything else that you have, I think, that's your opportunity to like kind of clear the slate at the end of the year, but also minimize the amount of work you have to do coming back in the fall, so that you don't have to be bothered by that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm always like, as I was packing stuff up, so I was really efficient the first few days. The last week of school. And then I got really lazy and I just started shoving stuff in like holes that I had, and
Okay.
I kept telling myself, I was like, future Morgan is going to hate you for this.
Correct.
Like future Morgan is going to
Absolutely.
hate August Morgan.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I was like trying to say, I had like all, like you said, like all those extra copies. I kept a hard copy of every single thing I did this year.
Yep.
And I put it all in a binder. But,
Yep.
and I tried to organize it throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, I was just like, I handed it to a student and I was like, hole punch them and put them in the binder. I don't care
Right.
where they are. So,
Right. At least you have them someplace where you can access them, you know?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're going to be in that binder. It's just a matter of,
Yeah, but that's like 50% of the work in my book. Like, if I know where they are, I don't mind spending a few minutes looking through to find the one I need. But like, just having things in like a place
yeah.
is like a great place to be at the end of the day, you know? Or the end of the year.
Yeah, and I especially for those of you that are out of like that have a lot of stuff. If you're an elementary school teacher, they have so much stuff.
Yeah.
Or if you're like just a regular education teacher and you're possibly moving rooms, or even if you're not, put your name on everything.
That's a good idea.
Because they are going to take everything out of your room, clean the room top to bottom, and then put everything back. And if your name's not on it, like they're doing like 4 or 5 rooms at a time.
Right.
If your name's not on it, odds are it's going to end up in the wrong room.
Yep.
And that happened to me my second year of teaching. So we actually came back from COVID and I was looking for my stuff and they had already done that deep clean because of COVID.
Yep.
And I was looking for my stuff and I had a whole 6 drawer organizer was put 2 rooms down from me.
Wow.
And I was like, what the heck? Like I couldn't find my stuff. I was like, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I think that's smart. You know, I have a classroom and then I also have an office, like a cubicle.
Yeah.
So like anything that like I want to keep safe or keep organized a little bit, I definitely like transfer from the room into like my little cubicle area of office so that at least it's in my space and like no one's going to touch that. Versus you know, the classroom where they don't typically use it, but they have before, so you just don't know. And then, you know, little hands swiping little things, nobody's there to monitor it. So I try to protect some of that a little bit.
I'm teaching summer school right now, and we're in the elementary school. And this wasn't in my classroom. This is kind of a story. But the teacher because in the elementary school, all their classes connect, and there's a bathroom between each classroom for kids to use.
Yeah.
But the toilets, because it's elementary school, the toilets are like on the ground. So the teacher that is in the room across from me was like, hey, can you watch the kids? I really have to go to the bathroom. I don't want to use these ones. And I was like, that's fine. I'll watch them. So I'm like eyeballing them like every now and then. And she comes back and she starts teaching it. She continues on with her thing or whatever. And not even 5 minutes later, suddenly a kid walks into like the throughway to go to the bathroom, shaving cream from head to toe, covered in it.
Wow.
He apparently had gotten into the teacher's stuff who's like in that room because we're in different rooms.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah. So the teacher's who's going to be in that room next year. He had gotten into her stuff and found 7 bottles of shaving cream. And him and a friend had a shaving cream war.
Right. Because of course, naturally, that's what they would do.
Yeah. And then one of them exploded one of the bottles. So like it just went all over him. And
Right.
And then the teacher came in and she's like, "Did you know they took shaving cream?" And I was like, "No,
nope.
I didn't. I'm sorry, I was not."
That's funny. I mean, typical but funny.
Yeah.
What does summer school like consist for you? Is that like remedial kids who are behind, kids who failed? Like, what's that situation?
So it's kids who failed. You had to have gotten below a 60 in one of your 4 main courses. So it's only math, ELA, science, and civics.
Got it.
So yeah, so they're recouping their grades.
And how long is summer school run?
So they're 2 week cycles. So we're
Oh,
on the first cycle right now. So they're in one course for 2 weeks, and then if
right.
that's the only course they failed, they get released. If
it.
they failed a second or a third course, then if they failed a second course, then the second 2 weeks.
Right.
So it'll be tomorrow will be the end of the first 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then next week I'll get my second rotation.
Yep.
I'm teaching science. So
Okay.
right now I have the 8th graders, and then the next cycle I'll have 6th graders because we don't have any 7th graders for science that failed.
Okay.
So I'll have 6th graders the next 2 weeks. And then someone else will get other kids. But if they failed 3 classes, or in one kid's case 4 classes, then they're on a 1 or 2 week rotation for certain things.
Yep. Got it.
Yeah. It's an interesting time.
Yeah. Is it the first summer you've done summer school?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Because my first year teaching was COVID.
Right.
So summer school wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And then last year I changed districts, so I didn't even bother.
You were moving in the summer or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't even bother to apply.
Okay.
And then, so this is my first year doing it, and it's kind of easy. I don't like it, at least the way my school's doing it, because the district gives you everything. You're just doing like packets that go over the work that they already learned.
Right.
And then you're like kind of doing some reteaching here and there. And
yep.
Yeah. So if a kid gives you a problem, you send them home and you just say, try again tomorrow. And if they come back tomorrow and they act like a jerk, they're done, and we'll see you next year in the same grade.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So far, none of my kids, and I was afraid because I got 8th graders first, and I was like, I don't teach 8th graders. Like, I'm not.
They can be their own kind of challenge, but.
Yeah, but because they're all trying to go to high school, they know that if they don't pass the summer school, they don't get to go to high school.
They're right.
So they're like being really good. It's going to be the 6th graders that I'm a little worried for.
That start next week, 6th grade.
Yeah. So a lot of the 6th graders I have are currently in math, which is next door to me, and I hear them all day. Like, they have just so much energy.
Right.
I'm like, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. You need to tone it down.
Right. Just everybody calm down. You're fine.
Yeah. Just everyone calm down. But
yeah, I've never done summer school. I've thought about it before. I mean, we have a different kind of approach to it, but I could be involved. I just haven't done it quite yet.
Yeah. I think it's also easy. It's like kind of easy money in a sense. Like, it's only Monday through Thursday, so I don't have to work on Fridays. And then it's 8 to 2.
And then you still get like basically a month off or 6 weeks off before you're back?
I get exactly a month because I go back on August 3rd this year.
What?
Yeah.
You mean the kids go back or you go back?
I go back, and then the kids come back on August 9th.
No. Nope. That's awful.
Yeah.
That's a level of awful.
It's earlier than last year, because last year we came back on the 9th, and then the kids came back on like
the week after.
The
15th
week
or something.
after.
Yeah, that's really early.
Yeah. I'm like calling, because I run a specialized program, so I'm like calling kids to recruit them, and their parents are like, oh, I don't know, we'll think about it. I'm like, well, we kind of need to know like now.
Right.
Like, I don't think you know how quickly this is coming up.
Right.
And next year, I'm so annoyed because I looked at our schedule for next year. We have off. So this year we got out before Memorial Day. Next year, we are still in session during Memorial Day. So we come back, we have off on Monday. We come back on Tuesday, and Tuesday's the last day of school.
Oh, what's the point?
I know. I was like, really?
So
put a
dumb.
nail in like every teacher's coffin.
Uh,
Hi,
Hi.
Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sometimes like I just need it to make sense. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind doing the work, I don't mind showing up with the kids, but like just make it make sense a little bit,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
So then our teacher workday would be like the Wednesday after. So
Okay.
it's all over the place. And I'm hoping that changes, like as long as we don't have any like hurricane days, I'm hoping it'll like they'll
How many of those do you have? Like what's the typical on that? That's interesting.
I think we have 3 built in to our schedule, just like any other school district has for like snow days. Like you build in like a few days more so
Right.
that you don't have to eat into your schedule.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
then if they happen, then they're there and nothing changes. And then if more happen, you start taking them away from breaks.
Right. Okay.
But last year we didn't have any. So
Yeah.
my fingers are crossed.
Is it you want to have them? Is that what you're saying?
I don't want to have
Oh,
them
you
because I
don't
want them
want
to
to.
take that last day of school away.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I get that. I get that. That's the thing. Like I've thought about moving to other places, like warmer places, and I'm like, I would miss the snow days. That's like definitely a perk of working in the north is like having the, especially like I'm from far upstate New York, so like 6 inches was not a reason to have a snow day. But like down here, they're like, we get like an inch, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's bad, and you're like, well, okay, if you insist.
Do most of your kids walk to school though?
No, 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 no. We have so I teach in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I think we have 4 buses that come from New York, and then because it's a private school, we've got them coming from like 30 minutes north and sort of like 30 minutes south Jersey. Um
Yeah.
yeah, so it's definitely.
I'm a Jersey girl, so I'm like all
Where
in.
are
So
you
I'm
from
like,
in
yes.
Jersey?
I'm from Atlantic City.
Oh, okay. So I'm
Yeah.
obviously farther north. I'm up in Englewood, which
Okay.
is like
Yeah.
right across from the GW bridge, like just in that neck of the woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
So yeah,
yeah. We don't so the thing about hurricane days, which I haven't experienced one yet, or rather flooding days, as most of the time will cancel because of flooding.
okay,
Yeah. And the thing about them is they're right in the beginning they'd be right in the beginning of the year. They'd all be before November. So
I see.
I'm like, at that point, I'm not tired of these kids yet. I want the days off in like
Right,
January
right,
and
right.
February when I'm like tired.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about snow days is they usually come right in that time period when you're like, thank God, I need a day.
Yes. My old school district never had a stinking snow day the entire two
You were
years.
like in Maryland or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They never had a stinking snow day the entire time I was there, mostly because we were virtual for an entire year. And they never had a stinking snow day. We had a few like go in lates. I forgot what they're called. But we went in
Like
3 hour
delays or
delays.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a few
Yep.
delays, but we never had a snow day. And then, of course, the 1 year I'm not teaching there, they get 4 extra days added onto their winter break because of snow.
Wow.
I was like, you lucky dogs. Like,
I
I
know.
was so annoyed.
I know. I know.
I was like, of course, as soon as I leave, you have all the snow.
Naturally, of course, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's definitely the one thing I would miss, because it's like that nice, unexpected, like break in the middle of the year when you're like, right, I don't have to actually do anything all day long.
yeah,
You almost feel like a kid again in a strange way. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Even when it was like snowing when I was virtual teaching, I would always like try to end I would only hold class for like half the time and try to end it early, like halfway early.
Right.
And I'd be like, okay, your assignment is now go play in the snow.
Right.
Bye.
Did you get a lot of snow days in like Atlantic City, like growing up in that area, or is that not really a thing so much?
So it like it would depend every winter.
Yeah.
Like some winters were really bad and we would get quite a few. Others were one here or there.
Right.
Like if it called for really bad snow, they would that most of the time they would cancel before, and then we'd get like nothing. Right. And they like the people at the top would always get like upset because they're like, we canceled school for this, and I was like, hey.
I know they get upset too when they like predict it and then it doesn't happen. And I'm like, calm down, you're fine. Nobody cares. We're not missing anything. Everybody's thrilled to have a day off. So like, you're fine. Relax.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We're going to have to, I'll probably plan a teacher. I'm going to have to plan a teacher's corner for like what to do in case of for like a whole thing on snow days.
Yeah, that's because conversely, what happens like in my experience, because I have such a broad community of people, we'll have like either a 2-hour delay or they won't cancel school in my immediate area, but we'll have like pockets of communities that like, especially farther north from me, that are canceled because of actual weather up there. And then it's like, now what do you do with a half a day or a half a classroom or whatever, because you've got only so many kids? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Like, that's always the question.
Yeah. I always remember the take your child to work day. Those were always like I was like, why do we even have school? Because half the class would always be absent.
Right.
Whether they're actually at work with their parent or they're just chilling on their couch.
Right.
But yeah. All right. Anyway, do you have any fun stories about the last week of school to share that either happened to you or a friend or a student?
Yeah, I saw this question when you sent it, and not really. You know what's funny about the end of I have a lot of stories, and I've shared a few here and other places and whatever, but the funny thing I feel like about the end of school is that that's like the least prime moment for us to have random experiences in a way, because like everyone's like, we're just getting through the day and we're going to be chill and relaxed and nobody cares. Like there's such a chill energy in the air when it's like the last week or the last couple of days when you're like, yeah, no, we're not going to have any hijinks this week.
Yeah. And I feel like it's even harder for kids to do things anyway, because like admin is like super like, no one leaves the classroom.
Right.
Like, don't write anything.
Or like teachers are like, meh, don't care.
Yeah.
So it kind of like deflates like the energy of like doing something foolish when the teacher's like, meh, me don't care.
The last month of school, we did a lot of at my school, and then we did this at my old school too. They did a lot of reverse suspensions. So rather than like once it gets to like I think 3 weeks before the end of school, rather than suspending you that next day, they'll just take away your last day of school and start eating at that. So like there were kids that were not there the entire last week of school because they were like suspended for something they did like a week beforehand.
Yeah, we don't do suspensions like that, but that's an interesting sort of way to look at it. Yeah.
Because it cuts down on like all the possible mischief if those kids that typically cause mischief.
Right. That's fair. I don't disapprove of that. That's a good system in a way.
Yeah.
But they got us through it anyway.
Yeah, I do have a fun story for you.
Yeah, I want to hear one because clearly I'm like not providing the good stories anymore. So go.
So this actually happened this year. I have no idea why or how it happened. I just know. So I was with my another fellow teacher of mine in her room, and because I was on my planning period, and it was like it was literally the last day of school, and we were just chilling in there. She had a class, and they were like working on something or talking or whatever, and it was me, her, and another teacher of ours, and we were all just talking about like summer and stuff like that, and just chatting because we were trying to pass the time. And because at that point you don't need your planning, like I didn't. And we look over at like a class had just come outside in front of the window to like go outside and play.
Yeah.
And we look over at the class and we see this kid had kicked a ball onto the roof of the school building.
Yeah.
And so he thinks it's a great idea to get his two buddies, and he runs towards his two buddies and they hoist him, and he jumps right up on top of the roof and like starts dangling from the roof.
Wow.
The kid then pulled himself up onto the roof, got the ball, and threw it down to them. But then had to wait there for the fire people to come because he couldn't get down.
Because he couldn't get down, right. What grade was this? 8th, you said?
That was, I don't know what grade, that was a mixed grade level class.
Oh, okay.
So I think
the
middle
kids
school that did it was in 8th grade, but I think the kids that helped him were in 7th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. That sounds about right for. I mean, the funny thing is, after 20 years of teaching middle school, it's like, yeah, that sounds about right.
But I would just never imagine, like, never in my wildest like imagination would I be like, oh yeah, the ball's stuck. Let me climb on my friends to go onto the roof to get it.
Yeah, but
like my first thought would be, oh, let me go tell the teacher and have her call the custodian to come get it.
Yeah, no, 100% that would be me too, which is probably why we're teachers. But like also, I'm like, yeah, I've seen that one before. I've seen that level of like foolishness of like, okay. My track record typically is I tend to walk in on those situations. And because I'm so like deadpan with them, they're like, oh yeah, we're going back to class now. And I'm like, yeah, you are. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Class now. But yeah, I've definitely seen them doing like every time I see kids, because I teach. We have a middle school structure, like an actual building, and then like art, music, sometimes language are in like different buildings on the campus. So like the kids roam to those areas, and every time I see them like cutting through my area, like where my classroom and I'm like, what are you doing? Like when it's not my class day for them, and they're like, oh, we're just walking. I'm like, no, you're not, because you're not here for me. What are you doing? Like I've been around the block. I know you're into. Well, we're just yeah. Hurry along. So like every time I see them in my wing, I'm like, you're here for bad reasons. I know you're here for bad reasons. Because it's not like Mondays and Thursdays are our class day. Today's Tuesday. Yeah. You're here for bad reasons.
I love that. That's my building too, because we have all these different buildings, but mine's in the corner.
Okay.
And I'm on the corner. So a lot of kids will like come like hover around my windows. Yep. Like not meaning to be like in my windows, just trying to be in the corner. And
Is it like a 1-level building basically?
Yeah. Okay. They're all 1-level buildings that are like scattered throughout. So there's like 7 different buildings.
Very Florida.
Yes.
The land of 1-story buildings.
Yes. And we don't have hallways. Like it's all outside. Because
really?
It would be too much to air condition.
What is it like covered in as far as like, because I know obviously rain is a problem and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So the walkways are all covered. They just have like a roof on top, but like a metal tin roof on top of them.
Okay.
And it's just like the metal tin roof and then like a concrete sidewalk.
Yep. But it's covered. That's nice.
Yeah, and then all the buildings have like long overhangs.
Right.
Over them. So
meanwhile, our campus is big. I think there's, I don't know, 10 or 12 buildings, scattered. No covered walkways, not a one. And obviously, we're not the same kind of weather, but obviously it rains here and obviously it snows here and obviously it's blustery and cold and all the things.
Yeah.
And I teach in my building. It's like my office, my classroom, the lunchroom, the mail room. So like I don't have to leave my space, but like all the kids coming to me have to leave their space when they're like for class. And I'm like, how did you all get here? And they're like, we ran, and they're like drenched and whatever. And I'm like, nah, okay.
Oh my God. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's kids like carry umbrellas and all of that, or not really?
sometimes they do, but like most of the time, so thankfully this year, anytime it was like hardcore pouring, it was during class. So like no one should have been out in the hallway anyway.
I see. Okay.
And then there were a few times where it was like raining really hard, and they would just come over the announcements and say, we're going to delay transition until this passes. Or there were a few times where we dismissed early, like 10 minutes early, to get them on the buses and get the walkers going home before like really hard rain came.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. It's an interesting environment.
Have you, sort of random side question, have you adjusted to the weather down there? I mean, obviously you're from my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Like, how, like, have you adjusted, or like what?
So
like,
it did get cold
and, like,
here for like a good period of time, like in January and February. It was pretty cold. Like there were some nights where it got almost to freezing. So
Interesting.
yeah, so but as far as like the heat, the constant heat,
Yeah.
I haven't gone back in like the winter. I went back this past December and I was a little chilly, but it was like roughly the same temperature. And then so I think this year is really going to be like the kicker when I go back, because but I do still wear jeans. I wear like long pants. Even like today I wore long pants to school and I was like pretty much fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like standing outside for like 20 minutes waiting for dismissal in the
pants. Like, do teachers wear shorts and things like that? Is that pretty typical?
No, we still have to dress professional. Yeah, but like you'll see more teachers wear dresses and skirts and stuff towards the latter half of the year.
Okay.
I think, and then as long as your shorts are like professional, they don't really say anything. But you do see more people wearing like, as opposed to wearing long pants all the time. Like the guys wear shorts almost every day. Men wear shorts almost every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll wear like their khaki shorts or
like right. Like khaki shorts, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and their polos. You see a lot more tank tops. Teachers wearing like tank tops and stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
We're not made to wear sweaters, so like I literally wore this today. It's a with like spaghetti straps.
Yep.
Yeah, and they can't, like, because some of the rooms don't have great AC. They have it, but it's not great.
Yeah.
So you're like sweating all day. But
interesting.
Yeah, especially in this elementary school I'm in. Like some days my room is freezing, and then other days it feels just as hot outside.
And do so you don't have like control over it yourself?
No, the school controls it. And most of the AC, this is the main issue I've seen, is that most of the air conditioners are in the ceiling of the they're in like the ceiling of the buildings. Like, so the buildings are built with a mezzanine on top.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
For like that's where they put all the construction. So like if there's an issue, they can still go in and fix it.
Yeah.
They don't have to you don't have to stop your class or anything.
Right.
But since most of them are up there, you have to wait for it to be a certain temperature in the classroom, and then that heat to rise to the ceiling.
Right.
It kicks on.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So. It's it's definitely, it's hard. I've complained a few times that it literally got to 83 in my room.
Wow.
Like the last
week. That's warm.
Yeah. I was like dying. Okay, and then finally, I guess we kind of already went over this. What was your opinion on in-service days after the last day of school? I agree. Like, I didn't mind mine. That's like a work day, but like yours were actual meetings and meetings. I would be like, no.
Yeah, that we've had speakers come in, and I'm like, you just wasted $10,000 or whatever you pay this person to come in and talk to us money, because I've absorbed none of it, and it's I just think we're just not in a good place to receive that. Like, either at the top of the year, I'm a little more receptive because we're like, rah, rah, school starting, or like
Yeah.
in the, in like the early parts of the fall or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think it's a little bit this year, I'll give them a lot of credit. Like yesterday was like they did a technology workshop, which is actually practical,
Mm-hmm.
followed by like grade level team meetings, which are also practical. And then
Mm-hmm.
today was department meetings, which are also practical. And then tomorrow's like one half a day of foofara and then this lunch. So like a half a day, all right, like I can respect that a little bit or whatever. But yeah, I just think, hi Cherie,
Hi.
see you. I just think like, yeah, I think professional development needs to be
It needs to be strategic, otherwise it's
correct.
wasted. And I feel like
Otherwise
if you're
it's
doing
wasted.
it like the last week of school, it's
Right.
wasted.
Right. And we do a lot of like rah, like, we talk about social issues or like, equality and all really great issues. But then one, we're all on the same page about it. So like, I don't know what you're trying to convince me of. And two, like we'll break up into small, like discussion groups. And like, that's even worse than a lecture. Like at least a lecture I can like sit and pretend to listen to, but like a small group, I'm like, oh, I gotta pretend like I'm invested into this thing, and we're just, I don't know, I'm exhausted. That's just where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I completely understand. I would feel the same way. So when do you guys go back for next year?
So we go back. So the kids come back the day after Labor Day, which I know.
Oh, okay.
And it's really pretty chill. Like it's like orientation, and then like kind of like meet every class in a day.
Yeah.
So like very shortened periods and that kind of thing. And I think as teachers, we go back the week before. So like August 29th, August 30th.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have like 2 or 3
Already be a whole
days.
month in.
Yeah. I mean, you're already a whole month out and we're
True.
basically like a month off, more or less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Do you have in-service days leading into the school year?
Yeah, so that's what August 3rd is. August 3rd
Okay.
starts in service.
Yeah.
And then I think we have like a whole week of in service, and then I think the next Monday is like open house where they can come and meet all their teachers and whatever.
Oh,
And then
like
we have
families come or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like back to school night, but we don't
Okay.
have back to school night. We have open house instead.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll have the open house, and then we'll have one more day of in service, and then the kids start, I think, that Wednesday.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's
So
not bad.
it's like 7 days of in service stuff.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And then you have an optional day that you can work. I don't know what day it is. I think it might be August 2nd.
Okay.
Like if you work that August 2nd, then you can take off another work day and get paid for it in
Right.
like the
Right.
year.
Later
In the middle
on.
of the year.
Yeah.
So,
But a lot of that's like unpacking your classroom and that kind of stuff, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of it. Well, for my school and like a lot of schools in our county currently, it's they did a whole switch of principals. So like all the principals changed pretty much. So we have a new principal, we have a new AP, we're gonna have a new dean. So we're gonna have like basically a whole new admin team.
Yeah. That's how
Part.
my school is. We lost our headmaster and principal all at the same time. So we're gonna have this whole new.
Yeah, and then on top of that, we also lost over half our staff.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them are leaving because our principal's leaving and they're going to that school, or
Okay.
they left the profession, or they're just going to other schools.
Right. Right.
So, like I feel most places in the country right now are struggling with the teacher shortage. Definitely, I think there's like 150 openings in my district currently.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is definitely like, is the turnover rate, because I've never taught in public school, which is I know a different system than the private school. Like, is
Oh, it's a whole
not
nother
good or
beast.
bad or different. It's just different. Is like the
Yeah.
turnover rate typically pretty high, or
I think it depends on where you work. I work
okay,
in a high needs area, so yes.
okay.
Any high
And you're
needs
like in the
Title One.
Orlando-ish area. Is that typical? Like, is that where you are? Ish.
I'm south of Orlando.
Okay. Okay.
So, but any high needs inner city ish, like I don't live in inner city, I'm suburb,
Right.
but it is definitely like a high needs, low income area. And
Okay.
anytime you're dealing with kids like that like the kids are going to bring a lot of baggage, and
Yep.
because of
Yep.
that, they bring attitudes, and
Right.
attitudes lead to annoyed teachers, and annoyed teachers lead to teachers quitting.
Right. Got it.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Understood.
And I think the other issue is that Florida doesn't pay, especially now, they're not paying like enough to even live really. So it's getting into a sticky situation with
Okay.
that, with the rising of cost of living and the
Yep.
salary not matching that. Like
Not
people
now.
are,
Yeah.
people are not coming down here to be teaching.
Okay. Interesting.
Like the rest of the country, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, private school is different, but I think education in general is kind of facing the same situation a little bit.
Yeah. A lot of public school teachers are leaving to go to private schools.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because
Yeah, I mean,
like
they
in a
both have
private
their
school, the kids
challenges.
want to be there. Like they don't want to necessarily be at public school. Like, I mean, they have to go.
Well, I mean, their parents want them to go. It's
Well, it's
a different challenge. It's not the same, but it's definitely a different challenge. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think it's just I think a lot of things are going to have to change in education coming up very quickly, a lot quicker than people would like to admit. And if the people at the top aren't going to do anything about it, I think we're going to see a serious issue coming about, because I know some districts around me are starting to go to other countries and and do large shipments of people, like immigrants, to come and teach in America.
Right.
Just because we don't have the teachers, we don't have the
People,
bodies.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anyone's looking for a change in career, I guarantee you'll get hired as a teacher, as long as you have common sense.
Well, I have common sense, so.
Well, there you go. And you're a warm body.
Right. I'm breathing.
You're breathing. You're currently breathing, and you could somewhat control kids. So.
Oh, yeah. Controlling kids is not the issue. It's the adults that I have the problem with.
Yes.
The children are, I can eat a child for lunch a day and, be fine. And I do. But the adults, that's a different.
Yeah. Hey, that's a topic for another live.
Yeah, that's it. I'm here for that topic.
Oh, it's coming. Trust me. I have so many. We're easing our way. We're doing some fun things first.
Some fun and practical things, and then we'll get to the heart of it all.
Yeah. But if you're a teacher out there and you want to be on this live stream, just let me know on my Instagram.
Absolutely.
It's linked down below. We always love to have extra guests on. Next month coming up, we have Jake. Are you back next month?
Yes, correct. Yeah, for sure. I'm back next month. Absolutely.
In July? You're coming in July, right? Yeah, I think so.
I'm here. Let's do it. Yeah.
Because I know I'm trying to pull up my list. That's why I'm like, wait, are you here? Are you not? All right. So in July, we have the summer to-dos and teachers on break is going to be our next live stream.
That's a good one.
We have Jake coming, and then we're also going to have a new friend, Jennifer from Making in the Music, is going to be joining us.
Oh, are they on YouTube? Do I need to know them?
Yes, she's on YouTube. She's a middle school music teacher, Jake.
Oh, well, hello. What's your like handle or deal? Making
Making in the music.
in.
Yeah. I'll send you her information,
Yeah,
but
send it
that
because it's not coming up at all.
yeah, I might have like abbreviated it. I think it's also has something to do with Disney, but I think I
Okay.
abbreviated it on my note.
Yeah,
But I
because
will.
definitely.
Well, I'm gonna put. We'll both be in a chat, so we'll all be in the chat. So don't worry.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah,
definitely,
yeah, yeah.
guys, if you're in the chat right now, come back on July 20th. Is when we are going to have that live stream, and we're going to be talking about the summer to dos, what teachers do on break, some awesome things all to do with that. And I'll also be announcing the winner of my giveaway. So if you haven't checked that video out, it released today. So
Go
definitely you're
check
going to
it
want to
out.
enter. Yes,
Do it
it's
now.
some great prizes, has some custom made tumblers. We
Oh,
have some Guardians of the
to check it
Galaxy.
out. Jeepers.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind merch is in the giveaway. We got some
Okay.
pins in the giveaway. We got it all. So definitely go check that out.
Nice.
And I think that's it for today. Do you have any last thoughts on the last week of school, Jake?
Bloody enjoy summer. Because that's all we get anymore. We work so hard during the year that like you got to take some time to enjoy. Like be selfish, relax, sleep in. You got to do it because it'll be back before we know it.
Oh yes, yes. I haven't had a break yet. I've been going with summer school. So as soon as summer school's over,
You're
I'm
close
free.
though. You're close.
I'm close. I'm close.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. It feels like it's kind of flown by. So I'm
Yeah, and then you've got a month. Enjoy the month.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
life's too short not to enjoy it. So
Yeah.
definitely enjoy the month. Go to Disney, relax, sit by the pool, drink, all the things.
Well, that's the issue. My pool has been broken for the past 3
Well,
weeks.
that's an issue. That's an issue.
Yes. Yes, it has been. But that it's getting fixed. So
All right,
we're waiting
fair
for
enough.
it to get fixed. We're waiting
Fair
on
enough.
parts.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah. But if you are a teacher out there, congratulations on making it to the end of the school year. You did it, or you're about to do it. If you're still there and you're not quite done yet, you're in the home stretch. You can do this. And
You got it.
We're right here with you, and we hope to see you on our next live stream. Jake, go ahead and tell the people what you have coming up on your channel and where they can find you.
So I'm at Jake's Disney Afternoon on YouTube and Instagram. What do I have coming up? A lot of pins, a couple of collabs, and some swaps and things like that. I tend to slow down a little bit during the summer, so I post like once a week or something like that. Just to, we're all at the beach, we're all outside, we're all enjoying the good weather. So, but come back and, sometime find me. I'm here doing all the things. So, yeah, that's me, Jake's Disney Afternoon.
Yes, go follow him. He has such an amazing channel. He has great content. He is a pin lover, as am I, and he has Loungefly lover too. So he's got it all, especially that Disney 90s, which Jake, I forgot we have to talk about Rescue Rangers because I forgot. And
Oh yeah, that is like high on the list. I show that to all my kids at the end of the year, so that's a conversation coming up.
Okay, that's a conversation. But you are on Teaching Disney right now, and I hope to see you back. Remember, go enter in that giveaway that I have on my channel. It was a video that went live today. Go enter it. Subscribe to my channel. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. We're trying to get there. We're so close, but we're going. I have a Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opening day video coming out this weekend. So Sunday-ish I'm aiming for. And then I also have some amazing dining reviews coming out. And I post a video every Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. It's typically pinned content, maybe some haul content. I think I have a Bippity box sitting here that I have to do. So we got it all. So we will see you on the next video. I hope you guys have a magical day. Class is dismissed.